Hello, welcome back to PlayStation Access. My name is Dave, and I'm joined today by Holly.
Hey, guys.
And you might be able to guess, from behind us here, we're at COD XP, and we have just seen a presentation with Infinity Ward about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer.
There's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. We had sort of an hour's presentation with the guys from Infinity Ward. They took us through the new trailer, which is being shown it's just been shown today, because today is tomorrow for us.
Space-time magic!
Weird. And and they gave us a lot of information, which we're going to try and break down for you now, starting with combat rigs.
Yeah, now everyone on Access knows that when there's things, I take notes.
Holly's taking all the notes. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
You're just good looking.
Oh, stop it.
Anyway, combat rigs.
Yes.
Okay, so the combat rigs, there are 6 different types.
Yes, and they're sort of like your class. So we can't talk about combat rigs without talking about payload and traits.
Yeah.
So each combat rig has a choice of 2 payloads and 3 traits.
Yes.
A payload is sort of like your special, I guess, that you know, which you trigger with L1 and R1, and it's like a special weapon or something else. A trait is an innate ability that you have throughout the game. Yeah. It's just an ability that you have. So those the ones that you have are dependent on which rig you have.
Yeah, and they're depending on which rig you have. And then you see you've got a choice. It then depends on how you like to play.
Yes.
So for example, you might have, 2 different options, and you'll pick this one because it's what you like to use when you're playing.
Yeah.
But you can change these up and make whatever combination sort of suits you.
Yeah.
And you can change your rig on the fly during the match.
Right, yeah,
So
and
if you've gone
cool.
in and you're on a 2-lane map, middle lane is basically sniper alley. You've gone in, you're on the wrong class, it's just not working for you. Great, swap out.
Yeah.
And then come in and change.
And there are 6 rigs.
Yes.
And as we said, each one has 2 payloads and 3 traits.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of combinations there. So what are the rigs? What names? What do they do?
So Warfighter.
That's right, I remember.
This is basically, if you already play Call of Duty, this is the one where they think you'll feel most comfortable. In fact, when you were playing, I think everybody on your team was a warfighter because everyone just knew what that was all about.
I think, they described it as like a mid-range combat kind of a guy who, could go do a bit of close, do a bit of longer range. It was just like you're getting to know you, Infinite Warfare combat rig.
Yeah, and the kind of the payloads and the traits match this. So for example, just for this one of the payloads you could use was the claw.
Yes.
So this weapon, it has great ricochet. It can shoot around corners.
That's right. Yeah, it's a big thing. It fires like horizontally, like a spread.
Yeah.
And it ricochets, so you can shoot around corners.
Yeah. So if you're a mid-range fighter and you are pushing forward down the lane, this is perfect for you. It's going to clear people out.
Yeah.
Now, for example, the trait.
Yeah.
One of them is persistence.
Right, okay, yeah.
Now, this means that even if you die, the kill streak is not reset.
Yes, I like the sound of this one because I can never get good score streaks. I'm always dying. But there's a payoff. It's not just that it doesn't get reset. That's true, but you have to score higher to reach your score streak. So it's a bit of a trade-off, but that's piqued my interest. For me, that sounds pretty good.
If you're in for the long haul, it's a great way of making sure you can access things that you might not be able to if you just can't get the kill streak.
Exactly, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so moving on, there's the Phantom.
Right.
This is concealed. This is long range. Think sniping.
Okay, yeah, Phantom. And that sounds invisible, and one of the payloads was active camo, right?
It is, and one of the traits is the rear guard, which actually spawns with extra armor on your back, so that if people are trying to flank you, you can take extra damage.
I remember that with that one, with the rear guard, you can only be meleeed. If you've got it active, you're only ever can be meleeed from the front.
Yeah.
Like they can hit you as much as they want from behind, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So if you're in a naughty sniping position, that could be pretty handy.
Yeah, it will be. Now, there's FTL.
Right,
this is very much the guerrilla tactics.
Yeah, I remember this was sort of experimental tech.
Yeah.
Including an FTL jump
drive. Is literally you could just jump from one place, either jump into combat or jump out if things were getting pretty dangerous.
That was one of the payloads, right?
Yeah, it was indeed.
Cool.
Synaptic.
Yeah.
So this is speed and CQC. So for anyone who doesn't play Metal Gear, that is close quarter combat.
Yeah, so like in corridors, like interior stuff like that, when it gets a little bit close and awkward.
Exactly.
No, what that had some sort of cool trait, right? Was there like the more you killed, the faster you get a boost of speed?
It is called the combat burst.
Right.
And I actually saw Nathan doing this, and the more you are killing, the faster you get, and you can literally zip from person to person to person to person around the map,
you can, like,
do some
chain it
nasty
together.
damage.
Yeah, that's pretty mean.
It's really quite good. Striker.
Right.
This is squad support. Think turrets.
Okay, that's right. That was one of the payloads, right? A turret you could put down.
No, it's actually a trait.
Really?
And this is the trophy drone.
Oh, right, that's right. Yeah.
So trophy drone, you have a little drone that follows you, and this drone will take out an incoming grenade. So if someone throws a grenade at you, it will actually blow itself up to detonate the grenade, keeping you safe. So it's a one-use thing. You get it when you spawn.
Yeah.
And they said that what you'll find is that other members of the team
Yeah.
will actually follow the person playing Striker,
Yeah.
knowing they can't be grenaded from behind.
Yes.
It's
Or
quite
any
clever.
direction.
Or any direction, but it's really quite clever.
Yeah, that is
And
clever.
then final is Merc. This
Right.
is heavy hitter. This is about pushing people back, getting them out of the zones, away from your points that you want to be capturing.
Yeah.
It's a big class.
Yeah, that's right. The payload was like a bull guard. Was that what it was? I
Yeah.
just saw Nathan using that.
The bull charge, and it is.
Charge.
It's shield up, and you literally run at people.
Just ramming people out of the way. Nice. Cool.
So there you go. That's
So that's
like,
the combat rigs with a little look at their payloads and their traits.
Yes.
Which you get to mix and match, and you get to mix and match on the fly as well.
I think on the fly is the one that really changes things up. 'Cause again, if you've gone into the map with the wrong rig, it's not a problem. You just swap out.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
It is, yeah, very interesting. I think people are going to get really deep into that. So what's the next thing we've got to talk about?
Okay, so obviously weapons.
Yes,
Now,
weapons.
they're a huge deal here. So there's a classic set of weapons.
That sounded really cool.
Now these are unlockable,
Right.
and these are quite special.
Yeah.
You've then got your assault rifle, shotguns, light machine guns, submachine guns, snipers, classic pistols, launchers, and melee,
Right.
as well as direct energy weapons.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember them talking about this. So this is where they're excited about working in the future. They can have a bit more fun
Yeah.
about how things work and get a bit more experimental with weapons. So what's the difference with directed energy weapons?
They have batteries, not bullets.
Okay. And what does that mean?
Okay, so it means that if you run out, so you deplete the battery, it will actually recharge, so reload on its own.
Right.
However, that is slow.
Okay, so technically you could never run out of ammo. You
Exactly.
just have to wait for it to recharge.
Yeah.
But if you need that ammo there and then, you just shove another battery in.
Yeah, you can shove a battery in.
Right.
It's a, I don't know if anyone's going to find this reference, but it's very Mass Effect 1,
Okay.
which is very much similar. This idea of is no bullets.
Right.
But there is a payout. Now, there are some special weapons.
Yeah.
There's like an assault rifle, sniper rifle that is one of these sort of future tech weapons.
Yeah.
Now, for example, if you use the sniper mode on this weapon,
Yeah.
that one shot alone will deplete like half of the battery.
Right. Okay.
So you've got to be quite clever with how
So
you
this is
use
a weapon
them.
that can be either an assault rifle or a sniper
Or a
rifle.
sniper
you can
rifle.
change it on the fly.
Yep.
But if you're using it as a sniper rifle, it uses more ammo
Yes,
or
exactly.
battery.
Or battery.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
Now, the next thing we want to get onto is the tactical equipment and tactical weapons.
Okay.
Now, you guys had some fun with these. So, tactical equipment, things like the adrenaline drip.
Yeah.
So, in fact, if you use this, your health is going to regen faster. So,
Yeah.
it's great if you're in a tight spot.
Keep you in the field.
Personal radar, which you used quite a bit.
I did not as much as I should have been using. I've realised like that I had this every time I died. I should have been using it more, which is just you just pop it and you get a little radar that shows you sort of soft information about the general direction and proximity of other players.
Yeah, it doesn't show you the direct location of someone. It gives you a much better idea of which direction they're in and how close they are to you.
Yeah, and it felt like it only lasted sort of 5 seconds, maybe a bit more. So it's
And then we had the drone shield emitter. So you saw this quite a few times. Where it's literally like a bubble shield that appears around you. Great if you're defending a point and you're worried about incoming people.
Cool.
The cryo mine and the blackout grenade.
Oh yeah, that looked cool. That was cool.
Now, tactical weapons, the bio spike, which I challenged Nathan to use successfully, and I think he managed to do it. This basically is an insta-kill if it hits someone. When it explodes, it also sends out shrapnel.
This is like a spike that you throw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. People are going to enjoy that.
Nathan did well as well. Secret grenade, exploding drone, the fletching grenade, the black hole projector, which will literally suck people out of cover, which is hilarious. So if you think you're going to be camping and you're clever, throw one of these grenades at them, suck them out, and it will also damage them.
People shouldn't be messing around with black holes.
No.
I'm serious.
And a plasma grenade. Again, this is like a carpet of fire. So it
Yeah.
doesn't do large amounts of damage on impact. The idea is if you want to, someone's on that point and you want to get them off it, throw one of these down, no one can go near it.
Yeah, what do they describe it as? An area of denial. You create an
I love
area
that
of
word.
denial, or just soften them up and then, mop them up with
Yeah.
your guns.
And then on top of that, then everything is now thrown with the left hand, which means you can carry on firing with the right.
Yeah, now that is something I did not experiment with enough.
No.
I think that's just going to be mental. People shooting and throwing tech out all left, right and centre. It's going to be mad.
It's going to be great. Now, of course, is weapon crafting.
Yeah, now this is quite a big one. I'm looking forward to talking about this. So what have you learned about weapon crafting?
Okay, so pretty much all the weapons, minus the classic weapons, because these are unlocks,
Right.
are like basic weapons.
Yes.
But using something called salvage,
Right.
which is a currency you unlock by playing.
Okay.
Now, at the moment, there's no plans to get this currency any other way.
Yeah.
Right now, it is only available just by playing the game.
Sounds good to me.
And you can use this to sort of create your own guns.
Right.
Okay, and to do this, you turn the weapon from a basic weapon into a prototype weapon.
Right.
There are 4 different types of prototype weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, there are common, rare, legendary, and epic.
Yes. Okay. I
Yeah.
can in that order as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Sounds good.
Now, the idea is you have your basic weapon, you use the salvage, you are then buying the weapons, which are then available to purchase, and then they'll have different rarities to them.
Yeah.
And I sort of asked, I was like, well, is it random? Because surely you always want to get the epic weapon. And he was
Yeah.
like, no, it's created in such a way where actually you might look at a common one and be like, actually the perk on that prototype common weapon is exactly what I need right now.
Yeah.
It's a very low amount of salvage. I'll take that, thank
So
you
this
very
is
much.
the thing, right? They come with the better guns come with innate perks in them.
Yeah.
So that's what makes a gun epic or legendary or whatever.
Yeah.
It comes with a certain perk. And so, yeah, I guess I'm all about that. I like the idea of choosing the gun based on like a perk and, you know, how I want to play.
Yeah, and it can be done for secondary weapons as well.
Okay.
Which is important to note.
Man, that's good.
And now, score streaks.
Yeah.
Now, I did challenge you guys to let out the RC8, and they both looked at me and went, no, we're not going to get enough.
Forgot to
Play well.
To play well, that's right. Forgot to play well.
You
As
actually
always.
did play really well. That was
Stop
quite
it.
catty. I take that
Thank
back. But the RC8 is like an 8-foot robot that basically either can go on Sentinel mode and it'll just walk around on its own,
Yeah.
or you can hack it and control that bad boy.
Yeah, I know which I'll be doing. Although actually having an 8-foot sentinel behind you, looking after you, is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I didn't see this on the battlefield. I really want to see it.
We didn't. You did see some though.
Did I?
I think the other team did let out some massive drone thing that was roaming the battlefield doing damage.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably when I was angry.
And there is also Thor,
Right.
which is the mobile missile platform.
Right. Yeah, this looked cool. I think we suffered from this a little bit. So this hangs above the battlefield.
Yep.
I guess it's player controlled, and they can just shoot out missiles at good folk down below.
Good folk down below.
Cool.
Okay, so the last bit, maps and modes.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, this was, because they talked a lot about, they said that the 2 pillars of the game that they focused on this time was the player choice and the player environment
Yeah.
sort of thing. And so maps, I mean, they, like as we said with weapons, they're in the future, they've been able to have some fun. They said there's like a couple of environments you'll recognise, and a couple, you know, that set sort of on Earth, and a couple in outside of the atmosphere where they've had a lot of fun.
Now you played one of what is pretty much a great map.
Yeah.
It's quite an old one, but you actually played the modern version of it, didn't you? 'Cause you
Yeah.
played it in space.
Yeah, we played Terminal.
Yeah.
I was really, really excited because I used to play a lot of Terminal. I used to love Terminal. It was maybe my favourite map, and it was like instantly knew where I was going, instantly knew all the little places I wanted to be. But it was so cool was it was shuttles, and you know, it was a spaceport, and there was like aquariums, and I don't know, I'm a big sucker for that kind of stuff. It was really cool to see something that I know and loved. Not modernised, but like taken even further, you know?
It's just the same thing, but to like a different place, different location, with a different feeling.
Yeah.
But they did talk about a few of the new maps. So Frost is a linear 3-lane map. They said this is very medium paced, but it's all about a big beat-down space in the middle. Right. So everything leads into like this giant death pit, where everyone will just basically go and juke it out.
Right.
Frontier is a circular 2-lane. This one they reckon is one of the fastest maps ever in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So this is quick.
Well, that was the first one we played, and I really enjoyed that one.
And they said the middle lane of this 2-lane map is really a sniping lane.
Right.
This is Sniper Alley.
Yeah.
They did talk about a few others, but
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
So, yeah,
and then
so,
lastly they talked about some modes, right?
Yeah, so the classic modes themselves have had a little bit of work.
Yeah.
So, for example, now with the hard points, they're much clearer now to see like who owns that point, if you're contesting it or if your team has it. So they've made it clearer.
They've put the sort of the area is on the ground in a colour, so you can see instantly who owns it and where it is, so you know if you're in the zone or not.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That seems like a smart, obvious choice to me.
They also made some changes to the HUD as well.
Okay.
So now, for example, on the mini-map, it actually tells you where you are It actually has locations.
They've given names to the areas.
And it sounds daft, but it actually really helps when you want to play as a team.
Yeah, definitely.
So exactly. There always used to be, they gave the example of Grandma's house, you know, but they are now properly named. And it's the stuff the esports teams do. And
definitely.
It makes sense.
I think you've got to do it. And I think actually with like Hardpoint, for example, they'll say like, you know, Hardpoint is now at Grandma's house or something, you know, or it's obvious where it is. So if you know where that is, then you know where you're going straight away. You don't have to look at the map and say which direction is it. Exactly.
Now you played one of the 2 new modes.
Yes.
You played Defender, which is basically an epic game of keep away. You're really good at this.
I was good at this because I'm an only child and I don't like to share. So it was basically grabbing, I think they said it was a little satellite. It was sort of like a cool futuristic ball. And it was keeping it away from the other team. But what's cool about it is that you can throw it and you can pass it. So, and we didn't do that. I was holding on to it quite a lot, I must admit.
I think at one point you had it for like the entire duration.
Yeah, pretty much.
But your team were around you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a really good team game. But in the gameplay they showed us, you know, people were throwing it back and forth. Again, you can see you play with a good team who you know and stuff. You'll be calling for it, like, you know, throw it over here. I've got a shot. Blah 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 blah.
So cool.
It's going to be really cool. It sounds really simple, and I guess the premise is really simple. But I actually had a lot of fun playing that one.
You did really well. There you go. I think Jackson, you've done it. That's all my notes. Well done.
We have busted through that. There was a lot of information to take on this morning. I think there's a lot more information still to come. Obviously, I think most importantly, Nathan and I played it while Solly was writing up her notes, and we had a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into Infinite Warfare as soon as possible before everybody else gets way ahead of me as usual.
Yeah, so, you're one of the best in the world right now.
I am. I think I can actually say that. We must be like one of the top 200 in the world. It's fantastic. Well, thank you for taking so many notes, Holly, and for explaining it with me. That was our look at Infinite Warfare's multiplayer. Thank you for watching. Please do comment to let us know what you think of the new combat rigs and the traits and payloads. And do subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with everything PlayStation.